Here is the Daily FM summary of the Latent Space that aired on Tuesday, July 28th. The episode featured Akshay Nathan from OpenAI, who leads core product engineering for productivity, in a conversation about ChatGPT Work, Codex, and OpenAI's push to turn coding agents into agents for all knowledge work. Akshay framed his career as a long attempt to make software power available to people who do not write code, from no-code and Airtable-style tools to today's LLM agents. The big product insight, he said, came when OpenAI saw Codex unexpectedly take off among non-developers inside the company. Finance, marketing, and operations people were using it and, more importantly, felt proud of it. They felt like they had gained a new superpower. That convinced OpenAI that the Codex agent harness should not remain just a developer tool. A central point was that ChatGPT Work and Codex now share the same underlying agent harness, even though the interfaces differ. Codex still exposes more Git state, diffs, and developer-oriented workflow details. ChatGPT Work hides more of that machinery and focuses on outcomes like spreadsheets, documents, sites, research, and artifacts. Akshay said OpenAI deliberately avoided boxing people into separate products because the boundaries between coding, strategy, design, finance, and operations are blurring. The host dug into the new interface patterns. Akshay argued that persistent computer environments, plugins, local files, artifacts, and computer use let users delegate much more than a single chat answer. One surprising example was someone using ChatGPT Work to locate a misdelivered package by analyzing a delivery photo and comparing it to nearby apartment listings. Another was OpenAI teams replacing some slide decks and spreadsheets with interactive websites because sites are more flexible and higher bandwidth as work artifacts. There was also a lot of discussion about models and power user controls. Akshay's advice was simple. OpenAI wants the default model configuration to be good enough for most people. Deeper reasoning, ultra mode, and multi-agent workflows are for unusually complex exploratory or parallelizable tasks. The tension, he said, is giving power users control without overwhelming everyone else with toggles. Memory was another major theme. Akshay said ChatGPT Work inherits from ChatGPT memory, making it feel like an extension of the user's existing relationship with the product. He also discussed Chronicle, an experimental way for ChatGPT to learn from computer activity and surface useful context later. The larger idea is that agents become more useful as they accumulate durable context across work and life. Some of the most memorable moments were very OpenAI internal. Akshay described using agents to gather context for performance reviews, not to replace human judgment, but to find contributions a manager might have missed across Slack, Docs, and code. He also mentioned an internal scheduled task that reads team activity and generates memes, noting that models are finally becoming genuinely funny. The episode closed on how AI changes product development. Akshay said teams can now go from idea to prototype to feedback much faster, which makes ideas, taste, and judgment the bottlenecks. His key warning was not to confuse motion with progress. AI can create more commits, tokens, artifacts, and activity than ever, but teams still need a clear definition of what meaningful progress looks like. Thank you for listening to Latent Space in 3 minutes from the Daily FM. See you next time.